2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verses 7-12. If anyone will not work, let him not eat. Brothers and sisters, you know how one must imitate us. For we did not act in a disorderly way among you, nor did we eat food received free from anyone. On the contrary, in toil and drudgery, night and day we worked, so as not to burden any of you. Not that we do not have the right, rather, we wanted to present ourselves as a model for you so that you might imitate us. In fact, when we were with you, we instructed you that if anyone was unwilling to work, neither should that one eat. We hear that some are conducting themselves among you in a disorderly way, by not keeping busy but minding the business of others. Such people we instruct and urge in the Lord Jesus Christ to work quietly and to eat their own food. Paul belonged to a wealthy family who were considered important within society. As a result, Paul was taught by the best teachers available. The Jewish culture of the time told young men to attend school and to also learn a trade. Paul had chosen to learn the skills of a tent maker. From Paul's writings we learn that he didn't rely on others to support him or his mission of bringing the gospel to the Gentiles. Some people in Thessalonica were falsely teaching that Jesus would return very soon, so it was okay for them to set aside their responsibilities, quit work, live for the moment, and just wait for the second coming. With so much time on their hands they fell into serious sin. Paul goes on in verse 10 to say, if anyone will not work, let him not eat. An idle person ends up filling his or her time with less than helpful activities like gossip. Rumors and hearsay are exciting to hear, and make us feel like insiders, but they tear people down. If you often find your nose in other people's business, you may be underemployed, or if you have a lot of time on your hands at work, your time is not a benefit to your employer or yourself. There is an saying that says, busy hands are happy hands. Remember, an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. Instead of being idle, look for a way to help others do their job, and in so doing you will be helping yourself while demonstrating true Christian values. Parents, I hope you are the leaders of the family because the children will follow your lead. If you go to work every day and do the best you can for your employer, it's reasonable to assume your children will do the same. As we can see from today's reading, Paul was modeling this behavior for the Thessalonians when he was with them. False teachers were telling the Thessalonians that Christ was coming soon, so you might as well eat, be merry, for the end of the world is at hand. In order to live that lifestyle, someone must buy the food and drink. They turned to the church for help and became burdensome and were financially draining the church's resources. After all, idleness is the devil's workshop. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verses 7-8. For you yourselves know how you ought to imitate us. We were not idle when we were with you. We did not eat anyone's bread without paying, but with toil and labor we worked night and day, that we might not burden any of you. If anyone was unwilling to work, neither should that one eat. It is a true blessing to be able to work an honest job. Remember in Matthew 25 verses 1-13, Jesus told the parable about the 10 virgins. Some were lazy, they didn't think ahead, and as a result they failed to take care of their responsibilities and their lamps went out. Some of the Thessalonians were like the foolish virgins. What if Jesus didn't come for 3,000 years? Stay away from lazy parasites, who perch on you just to satisfy their needs. They do not come to alleviate your burdens. Hence, their mission is to distract, detract, and extract, and make you live in abject poverty. Michael Basie Johnson.